Did you start your business for freedom, but now it feels more like a burden? Well, if so, I've got good news for you. This is a common stage that all business owners go through, and what I'm going to take you through in today's video is why it happens and how you can navigate through it. So one of the key drivers of most business owners is freedom, right? We start our businesses because we want freedom. We want freedom from employment, we want freedom from having to answer to other people, and we want to create lifestyles that we enjoy on our own terms. So when you start your business, you get that because you're no longer in employment. So you're creating freedom for yourself by removing yourself from a job and creating your own thing. And it's exciting and you're motivated and you're driven. So you get that freedom fulfillment just by being your own boss. And this will typically keep you motivated for between kind of 6 to 18 months, right? So that's what I would call the startup phase. So you're just still motivated and still driven by the fact that you're creating your own thing. And then what happens is you move into this stage called what we call success. So you find some traction, you get a bit of a name for yourself, you start being able to sell something on repeat, you make some money and you build a small team around you. So that needs to happen probably at max of 18 months. And again, you're still getting that freedom fulfillment because you're experiencing a level of success. It's exciting. You're building a team around you. You're building clients. You're making a difference. So you feel happy. And again, you're motivated because you've made your own freedom. You are making a difference, and you don't have to answer to anybody. And then this is where something really interesting happens. And this is what I think you'll find useful as a business owner if you're feeling like your business is more of a burden. Typically around 3 to 6 years, that success phase moves into what we call the slog phase. And I don't think this is talked about enough. And I think understanding this will give you a massive advantage when it comes to making your business what it needs to be and getting yourself out of this zone of being stuck, of feeling stuck. So remember, you started your business for freedom. Now, typically around 3 to 6 years into the success phase, it starts to feel like a burden, right? And what's happening is when you first got into this success phase, you love the fact that everything was reliant on you. And if you're a normal business owner, you've made your business reliant on you and your team reliant on you. And you loved it at the start, remember, because you were creating success. But around 3 to 6 years, that starts to wear off. Okay, and what's happening is the way that you find freedom is starting to change. And this is very normal, right? And you are now starting to crave freedom from your business, freedom from all the jobs that your business is creating for you, freedom from having to manage your team that you built to make your life easier. So all of a sudden, the freedom that your business used to give you is now not there. And in fact, it now feels like your business is taking your freedom away from you. And this is where your business switches from feeling like a freedom driver to a burden. And this is a problem, right? Because if you stay here, remember, you're a business owner, so one of your core drivers is freedom. If you stay in this zone for a long period of time, you're going to get demotivated, you're going to get tired, you're going to get fed up. And that's going to lead to you not being able to be the best version of yourself and take your business to what it needs to be. So if you're in this zone and you recognize and you resonate with everything I've just said, it's imperative that you recognize that you're in this zone and you move to the next zone, which I'm going to explain to you in a moment. But if you just stay here for a long period of time, you're just going to end up fed up. At best, you're going to be tired. At worst, you're going to be burnt out. And then you'll probably try and sell your business because you hate it so much at some point down the line, and you won't be able to sell it because it's so reliant on you. Okay, so and that's why 80% of UK businesses that get listed for sale don't sell, because they're being sold reactively by business owners that have stayed stuck in this zone for too long. Okay, great, you've told me all the problems, now what can I do about it? Well, when you identify a problem, you can do something about it. So just by understanding this zone that you're in, hopefully you've now got some clarity around, okay, that's why I feel the way I do. And there's a solution, right? And the solution is you have to systemize your business to work without you. Now, we hear that and it sounds intimidating. We're like, oh, I don't understand systems. I don't want to spend loads of money on software. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, but it's actually not that complicated. But what we've got to do is we've got to move you from being a owner-operator, where you run the business and you're responsible for everything, to being a genuine business owner whose main priority is making the business work without you. Now, here's where this is really magical, right? If you've got a team in place and you've got a level of repeatable success in the business, you've got 5 to 50 employees, everybody in your business, including your clients and your bottom line, will benefit by you getting out of the way. And I think a lot of us owners, we struggle to give ourselves permission to get out of the way. Okay, the fear-based part of our mind tells us if I step back, it's all going to go wrong. It's all going to fall apart. And actually, I need to be there. Do I deserve to be successful if I'm not there working? And that leads to the business becoming a lose-lose for everybody, right? So if you recognize that this business now feels like a burden, and the only way that you're going to be happy and have the motivation and drive you need to keep moving it forwards is to make it work without you. You can then give yourself permission to move into what we call the systems phase, right? Now, we think that systems are complicated and then this fancy thing, they're really not. All we mean by systems is how can we replace what you do with either people or with systems and processes, right? And typically what you need to do to make this happen is you need to stop doing everything for your team. Okay, you need to tell your team, especially your leadership team, I want you to run this business without me or with minimal involvement from me. And I've got a video on our website, which I'll reference to in a minute, that literally gives you the step-by-step walkthrough of what you need to do. Okay, but when you do that, you might think you're going to stress your team out and that they're going to get overwhelmed and burnt out and fed up that you're not there. But actually what will happen is they'll feel more confident and empowered because you've got out of the way and let them run the business. So it drives employee motivation up. It will also force you to systemize the way you think. So the way that you make decisions, we can build guides and processes around that so that your team can make those decisions for you. And we'll put emphasis on your team to systemize the processes. What that means is that your customers get a more consistent experience, and that experience can reach more people. It's much more easy to scale. On the bottom left side, the team, I've already said that, the team will be happy, but the business, because of that, because it's more systemized and more efficient and more predictable, you're probably going to improve the performance of your business. That might be more revenue, or it might be more profit on the revenue that you are already making. And then, of course, most importantly, you're going to be happy. So when we systemize, it typically takes about 2 years to take your business from completely independent to systemized and running without you. But once you do that, everybody wins. You get your freedom back. You get to focus on the tasks you enjoy instead of being an owner-operator that's spending all your time on reactive firefighting and managing your team. Your team get freedom and empowerment to run the business for you, which makes them feel more confident about themselves and more happy. Your customers get a more consistent experience. Your business is more efficient, probably makes better money, whether that's more revenue or more profit on the revenue that you're making. So it's absolutely what's going to happen. And what I want you to think about is, if you are feeling like your business is a burden and like you're stuck, what's your alternative? Like, if you're not enjoying everything being reliant on you, what's your other option? Okay, and for most business owners, they just stay there for too long, but due to fear, like they don't move themselves out at this stage, and then eventually have to close your business. Right? If you've got a business and you've worked hard to get it to where it is, you want to be able to sell that business eventually, or at least have it running with minimal involvement from you, so that you can have a great lifestyle that warrants the effort that you've put into that business. So what's your choice? You either stay where you are, unhappy, feeling stuck in what essentially is a job, which is the whole reason you create a business to get away from, or you move into this systems phase. So if you do that, like I said, win-win situation, you'll get your motivation back, everybody will win. So if you're feeling demotivated in your business, if your team are feeling a bit flat, if your culture's feeling a bit stagnant, you're probably in this zone, okay? It doesn't mean you're broken, it doesn't mean the business is broken, it's probably got nothing to do with the economy, it's just the case that you've got to, what got you here won't get you there, right? You've been stuck being the owner-operator for too long, stop working for you now, which means that if you don't fix it, everybody's just going to stay a bit flat. So if you're feeling flat, this is what I want you to focus on, moving into that systems phase. If you are listening to this video and you're like, that's absolutely me, you're talking complete sense, but I don't know what to do next, here's a couple of things you can do. You can go over to betterhappybusinessclub.com. You can sign up to free weekly emails from us there, where we'll give you tips and guidance on how to do this, on how to make your business work without you. And we'll also give you tips and guidance on how to be healthy and happy as a business owner. At the bottom of that page, you can get my book for $4.99, which explains this detail in more process. Or if you just want to know the exact outline and how to systemize the business and how you can do that in 14 weeks, head over to thefractionalintegrators.com, which there's a link for in this video. And there's a video there called the Freedom Formula, the Owner Freedom Formula. And that will show you the exact process that we take owners through over a 14-week period to stop the team and business being reliant on them. And you can implement it yourself. So head over and watch that. If you found this video useful, please do like or comment below. If you know an owner that's feeling stuck in their business and feeling frustrated or feeling fed up, give us a video, a share to them, or share the link with them so that they can come and watch it as well. And I look forward to seeing you in future videos or hearing from you through one of our businesses.